Hello, this is Katie. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if it's your first time. I got a $10 voucher from Michael's, and now I'm convinced that it's not an actual reward system because I'm pretty sure I had like $5 that they emailed me, and then it turned into 10, but like I hadn't shopped anymore, so I'm thoroughly confused about their voucher system. I'm okay with it, because I thought it was 5 and then it was 10, and that brought me in to spend money, so I'm sure that's what their goal was. Let me know if you've experienced anything similar, if you shop a lot at Michael's, and if it actually works, or if you think they're just giving you vouchers so that you'll go. Anyway, so I went in, and one of the things I got, or the big thing I got, this was, let's see. So I had the $10 voucher, but I also had a 40% off of one regular priced item, which is what I used on this item. And then 20% off of everything else. It was your entire order. You don't also get 20% off of the 40% off item, but that's fine. And then my $10 voucher came off in pieces off of each item, which is odd. I'd mentioned this before. At the bottom of your receipt, normally it would be like $10 voucher or something. But they just disperse the $10 from each item. I don't know if it's their POS system that they need to do it that way or whatever. If you work at Michael's and you understand it, let me know. Anyway, so I got this and I wanted to swatch them for you. I'm going to open this end. So it's Winsor & Newton Cotman, and I need more watercolors, like I need a hole in the head, but I don't have any Winsor & Newton Cotman pans. I have some tubes that I've purchased because they're less expensive than the Winsor & Newton Professional. And so I eventually got the Winsor & Newton Professional like pre-poured quarter pans off of Etsy, like a set of 24, which I covered in a video, I believe, so that I could try them out for, a bunch of different colors for cheaper. I didn't want to buy all of the tubes and pour it myself. So that's how there's a lot of things on Etsy. If you're unaware, a lot of people will buy tubes, and it's something I've considered doing, honestly, buying tubes and creating pans, but they're like quarter pans. So they're even smaller than half pans, but I don't need any more than quarter pans. And they will put them in a pan or in a pallet for you. And they can, out of one tube, they can get, 4 sets out of it, and they'll sell it for however much. I'm willing to pay that price because I don't want to buy all of those tubes of paint, and they make some money on the deal, and they did all the work. So that's fine. It just is a lot of work, and you have to have pallets and pans and stick them in place, etc. So anyway, I don't have any Winsor & Newton Cotman pans. And these are, you can see they're kind of like rounded in the picture. I'm going to show you this. This is just so cute. I really want to take this like outside somewhere and paint with it. But so it's got a little palette, but it comes with this little travel paintbrush, and you pull it open. And I hope I didn't cause any damage to it. But it's super cute. And then you put it back in so carefully. And then it can go in there. So I'm going to swatch these for you. I want to show the rest of what I got first, and then I will swatch those. I also picked up 2 soft-ish. I used their test paper to test the feeling. And these are 2 softer, I guess you would call like softer lead, white colored pencils, but I just got this to kind of include in adding to my abstract paintings, so like highlight. And somebody in a video, and I can't tell you which one because I've been watching art haul videos nonstop, had mentioned using this to lighten, like if you had done like a wash of watercolor, let's say it was dark purple and you wanted it to be light purple in a certain area, you could go over that whole section in this, and it actually works pretty well. And I actually drew this over, somebody on the test paper at Michael's had used like a purple alcohol marker, and so I tested it over that and it made it like light purple, more like lavender, and so it actually worked pretty well for that. So one's a Prismacolor and the other one is the Faber-Castell Gold Faber Prismacolor Premier White. I'll let you look at those. And then these, first and foremost, I got because look how adorable these are. And also I just wanted some added ink to play with. But they're like, I'm going to shake them up a little bit. They're like little tubs of ink. And they actually say different things. One is white and one is gold. The white one says, white ink may be thinned by distilled water, but should not be used with a stylus pen. Stir well before use. All colored inks are permanent with the exception of black and white. So I'm more confused than before I read it. And then the gold one says this ink should be stirred before use. It can be thinned with water and is suitable for use with either a brush or a steel nibbed pen, which I have, and that was my intention. I'm thinking I can use a brush with this, but I don't know. Maybe I'll use a cheap brush out of my cheap brush pack to test this and see if it affects the brush in a bad way, I guess. But look at this little polar bear. Oh my goodness. It's just white ink. I don't know. I'm not going to open it. I've been having bad luck touching my inks lately, so I'm going to set it aside. This is the gold one. I'm not able to shake it up as much as I want. I really want to make sure that's sealed. I'm trying to get the gold off the bottom, but it's shaken up enough. But look how cool that is. And it's like actually shiny on the front. So those are super cute. And then, so the last two things in another test I'm going to do with you guys on video now. I'll just test a couple of the stamps, but I am determined to figure out how to make acrylic stamp clearly and well. And, there is someone I follow on Instagram and YouTube, and she did a test, and I want to link her video down below because it's a different type of test. She had the Tim Holtz platform, and I used to have that, but I got rid of it. And I have the Misty, which I feel does a better job because I've used both of them. So I have this Stamp Perfect, and I have two size Misties, and I mainly use my mini Misty, the Black Hero Arts one. So that's what I'm going to use with you today to test these. But she used the Tim Holtz platform, and then she used, I think she was using printer paper on top of it. I'm going to be using cardstock. And then she had like a cloth that she rubbed on top of the platform. And I actually have my Pressure Pal, and I will link this down below as well from Twiddler's Nook. This is awesome. And I've actually gotten already using a totally different acrylic stamp from a Michael's card kit that I also did a video on not that long ago. And it gave a better impression for an acrylic stamp because this gives you even pressure, and on a platform you're not, pushing your hands in or using a cloth and like squishing different pressures in different areas. This is that even flat, controlled pressure. So I want to try these in a Misty on cardstock with this and see if it goes well. If it doesn't, then we fail. That's fine. But for all of that, I spent $33.88. So I didn't do too bad. I'm going to swatch. I'm going to open and swatch these. Let's see how long it takes me to open one of these. And I also, is this on the back? Because I don't want to keep these. It doesn't have the number, but it does give you the name. Lemon Yellow Hue. That's fine. I'll just keep the box. Yeah, so these don't take very long. And these actually, this is interesting because these don't like snap in or anything. They're loose. So when it comes to having that in like a travel palette, I'm going to close it and see if, probably should have started on this end. Close it and see if they move around, basically. I'm going to show you this. If you want to pause on that, those are all the colors that come in it. but I just want to open these and get them in there and then swatch them for you so you can see, oh my, ow, if it's a palette you would be interested in. These are definitely like, from what I've heard and from what I can tell, like how they're made, basically there's like a log, a log going this way of paint that gets cut into these chunks that then just get put into a pan. So sometimes that's why they're in there coming out. There could be some sort of water or adhesive in the very bottom. I've never hit pan on a watercolor, so I'm not sure I ever will. So I don't know what's at the bottom. I'm sure it's not glue because that would not work very well with your watercolor, but maybe they put some water or some of the binder at the bottom to stick it down. Paints are just really fun to open. That's part of why I got the pan set, because I wanted little paints to open. Okay, and then this one. So I'm wondering if this lid or these ridges come down enough to where it won't, these won't rattle around or come out of their holders. Okay. So this, where the brush sits doesn't move, so that's good. And it looks like, no, like these can totally come out. I'm gonna do this and then flip them back. So it looks like they can't go too crazy, but maybe don't put them away and flip them upside down if they're wet. Oh, he stayed. I think he's a little sticky. So yeah, just keep that in mind, I guess. I have a piece of watercolor paper. I've got some water. I'm going to fold this a second time. So I just want to show you, let's see. I'm going to use my smaller brush. So this is let me spray these first. Just pre-wet them to make it easier. This is the lemon yellow hue. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Cadmium yellow hue. Cadmium red pale hue, which usually just means bright orange. Alizarin crimson hue. This one is, whoops, got in there, ultramarine. And then cerulean blue, which is my favorite blue, at least in the crayon world. But most paints, I really like it as well. Viridian hue. Lighten that one up a little bit. Sap green, which is a great green to have for botanicals. Yellow ochre. Burnt sienna. Burnt umber. And then the white is just going to be white. I don't expect it to show me much on there, but that's Chinese white. So just to give you an idea what comes in that, I really like the way they look on paper. I'm not sure which watercolor paper this is, actually. I just grabbed a piece and I found it, but look very nice. So that'll be fun to take somewhere. I got some down in the little thingy there, but that's okay. So I'm gonna let those dry out right side up. Okay. And then set this aside. Okay. So for the stamps, I'm gonna put these in my pencil holder. Okay, so I'm gonna test these guys. And let's test the witch and the gravestone. If it even comes off. Wow, okay. Interesting. That was really weird. Okay. I'm just gonna set all of that aside. So, without having to do anything to the stamps, because I don't feel that you should ever have to do anything, maybe clean them, but I usually do that with my photopolymer stamps. You shouldn't have to do, and by do anything to them, I mean like run sandpaper over them so that they hold ink better. That shouldn't be a thing. So we will just set those there. We will pick them up. Acrylic. Usually they're pretty good about sticking to a window, but they tend to not be as sticky as a photopolymer stamp. Sorry for the glare from the lamp there. I'm going to use my favorite things, Extreme Black Hybrid ink, which has been my go-to for a while now. And I am going to go, you know, a couple pass-throughs of ink like I would do with any photopolymer stamp. And use my Pressure Pal for even pressure. It's pretty good. I might not even need a second one. I won't give it as many pats as the first one. A second go round, maybe even too much. But yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty clear. Her shoe is a little smudgy. That might have been my second go round on that one. This is gonna be, this paper isn't cut evenly, so there's that. So let's just do it again with, I'll stop at 1. So it's a little light. I would maybe give it 2 more taps. I think when you have the right stamping platform and this, I really think this makes a big difference when it comes to especially dealing with acrylic stamps. When it comes to even pressure, I've noticed even like the little tiny areas, and even in a photopolymer stamp, a little tiny area that might fill with ink because it's so little, and you just assume that it's going to be that way forever because it's such a tiny area. I have had those become open because I used even pressure with this thing, and so it becomes a part you can now color in because it worked. So honestly, these are pretty good, and I never buy acrylic stamps because even if they're cute, like these are kind of cute, they're not super cute, but I wanted to buy them for the test, and it seems to work. And you have to have a good ink, but I think the platform with this foam pad you have to have in there and this really make a difference. So I say give it a shot, let me know, but I'll be using these for my Halloween cards, it looks like. So that went pretty well. Anyway, I'm going to clean this up and I will let you guys go. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.